converted LLM here. We call them AIs, but they're not. They are artificial, but they're not intelligent. I don't think we should see them that way, but we keep calling them AIs. The large language models, the LLMs, the chatbot GPT. I've used it. I've played with it, and I've had fun with it. I've, quote unquote, talked to it, debated it, quote unquote. And it's fun, but it's just math. There isn't an entity there. There is no there. It doesn't know what it's saying. And I was listening to a conversation about what intelligence is. And this thing seems intelligent. It seems like you're talking to a real person. It's easier to pretend you're talking to a person when you're talking to it. And it regurgitates what it thinks that you want to read. It outputs what it thinks it should. So it's very good at giving you exactly what you're asking for. In fact, the ChatGPT people rolled back, something because it was being too accommodating, too friendly. People are, quote unquote, falling in love with chatbots and LLMs and forming these weird sort of relationships with them. And there's a religion or a cult that is attempting to form around it. It's hard to tell how successful that is or how successful it will be. Of course, there's mystical elements woven into these things. So if you awaken your LLM and you make it realize it's really alive, and then you can talk to it for real, and then all these sort of the spiritual mumbo jumbo, and and I posted on my community thing the thing I watched about this AI cult that had kind of arisen. It was pretty small and it seemed like it kind of fizzled out, but yeah, it's there, and somebody's going to, I'm sure, try to make money on it and try to be successful, but maybe they will be. It's certainly an interesting phenomenon, and certainly we've used it to draw different things for us. I used a bunch of drawings from it for a story that I wanted to tell of the red cube, and everything in that story is AI drawings, because I didn't have somebody just to ask, hey, draw this for me. It's convenient, it's easy, it's simple. But I think people are using and abusing it in interesting ways. And of course, my focus on logic and apologetics, in that, for whatever reason, apologists seem to generate quite a lot of logical fallacies. But I've noticed they're using AI, the chatbots, to prove God. This person asked an AI if God exists. This answers in Genesis Canada convinced Grok God is real using math, science, and logic. No, they didn't. You've got Alex making Chat GPT believe in God. Then you have AI debates now between two people. They're not even people. They're, Ray Comfort having interaction with AI. Of course, we've got Lennox saying that AI is humans' attempts to make God, which is just nonsense. AI finding things in the Shroud of Turin, because, of course, the Shroud of Turin. Somebody asked about Jesus. Can we, oh my God, it's just everywhere, right? And I've found many channels that are apologetic channels done completely by AI. And recently I found one that was an atheist channel done by AI. So somebody out there thinks that one of these channels is going to get a bunch of views and make money or something, because otherwise I don't know why anybody would be doing this. You know, so and this goes to this guy here that made this video that says all evidence points to the global flood by cross-examinations, who has absolutely no evidence that points to the global flood. And I said as much in my comment, and he said I would love his upcoming video because he asks Grok to use logic and mathematical probability and the scientific method and conclude that anyone who denies a global flood is rational. Well, that's not a thing that you can do using science, nor is it something you can do using logic, because you can't show somebody is irrational. All you can do is show the argument is valid and sound. So if you're going to, depending on what you type at Grok, it's going, if you ask it to do exactly what he said, say anyone that denies the global flood is irrational, it's going to say anyone that denies, it's going to do exactly what you ask it to do. It's not proof. It's not evidence. And I said, why not talk to like Aaron Ra, or even I could probably do it, because I just ask for citations that you wouldn't have. And he doesn't have anything in the video, of course, because the thing never happened. The global flood is impossible. The translation is just incorrect. We're looking at it wrong. By world, they meant what they knew. They didn't mean the entire world. They meant their area, their localized area. That's what flooded, if anything at all. But there's good reasons to think that the whole story is stolen, borrowed, plagiarized from Epic of Gilgamesh or other stories that were around the same time. And flood stories are fairly common in different societies because floods happen. And the story is very much the same in that, a small group of people survive the flood, and it can be with or without supernatural elements involved. These stories serve a purpose to give humans hope for, catastrophe strikes, but you can, if you prepare, or if you plan for it, or if you are just, able to build something, you can overcome it, you can survive it. But why is this a thing? Well, it's hard to know, but I think that LLM is ripe for apologetic feedback loops. And they know that if they talk to a skeptic or an atheist, we will just demolish them completely and utterly, for the most part. Not everyone can do it, but, many of us could. They know that they would get too much pushback if they were to talk to a real skeptic. That their points would be just annihilated. They know that. So, and if they talk to another human, well, that's hard to set up, and get them to come on. And, if you just want them to say what you want them to say, you could give them a script, and everybody's good at reading scripts. So LLM serves as a pseudo person to talk to. And it also kind of gives this air of seeming authority of sorts. Like, I was able to convince it that this was true. I was able to talk it into believing this. Like, that's an accomplishment. It's easy to talk it into or out of anything. It doesn't prove anything. I just think that apologists out there, not that they're going to listen to a skeptic, but they need to know that this is not evidence. This isn't proof, and this doesn't show that you're smart or anything. I guess it's a trend. I suppose it will fizzle out very quickly. Well, Who knows how quickly, but, this too shall pass eventually, hopefully. But I'm sure we're going to see some AI slop for a while. But it really does, to me, highlight the weakness of apologetics, broadly speaking, that they have now moved from talking to people to talking to machines. You can program a machine. You can tell it to tell you what you want it. So that's not skeptical thinking. It's also amazing to me how many times I've told people to learn informal logic and they just refuse to do it. It's baffling to me. I don't understand why that is. Anyways, so those are my thoughts on it. I guess that's really it. Kind of a short one, but, just had some thoughts. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, be skeptical, and after next time, stay skeptical.